Hi and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's very nice to have you here at the Underwater Filmmaking School. Now, if you've been shooting underwater for any amount of time, and in particular if you've been using small compact cameras like this one here, there is a high probability that you have run into a very common problem. The problem being that your underwater camera lens just wasn't wide enough for the scene that you tried to capture. Now this happens, for example, if you're in front of a coral head and you wanted to take a photo of that coral head. Now you got some strobes on your housing that you use to lighten up your scene, but obviously they don't work on a long distance. So if you come up close to your coral head, suddenly the focal length of your compact camera is just not good enough. You can only take a small portion of that coral head, or can only photograph a small portion of that coral head. The solution would be to go further back, but if you do that, now suddenly your strobes are not working properly anymore. I mean, they do work, but it's just not enough light reflecting off your object, so you won't really get your vibrant colors. Even though this is a big problem, the solution to it is fairly simple. By using wide-angle wet lenses, like the ones that we've got here on the table, you can actually make your field of view wider on your compact cameras, and therefore you're able to get closer to your object so that you can get the entire object in your framing and still have these strobes actually having an effect on the scene and lightening that up, giving you proper colors on your image. Now there is quite a few companies actually producing these wide-angle wet lenses. One of the companies that has really set a benchmark with one of their products is Nauticam. With their wide-angle wet lens version 1, the original version, they have really put something out on the market that has been unseen until then. Since then, many other companies have come up with similar products. And Nauticam has just recently released their latest addition to their wide-angle wet lens collection, which is the WWL-C. The C stands for compact because this lens is actually designed specifically to be used with compact cameras. Nauticam themselves, they say that their latest addition here, the WWL-C, is an evolution of their original version of the wide-angle wet lens. Now you might ask yourself, how does it differ? What has improved compared to the very first version of Nauticam's WWL series? Now there's a few things that are worth mentioning. First of all, as I said before, it's optimized for the use on compact cameras. Most compact cameras nowadays start with a focal length of 24 millimeters. And most of the wide-angle wet lenses, they actually start at a focal length of 28 millimeters, or are optimized for that focal length. That's different with the WWL-C. This is actually, as we said before, optimized for compact cameras and therefore optimized for a focal length of 24 millimeters. Why is this important? Well, simply because you can use the entire range of your compact camera without getting the very nasty black borders on your frame if you use the widest possible angle on your compact camera. The second big improvement that is worth mentioning on the WWL-C compared to the original version is that it actually incorporates a buoyancy compensator. Now, this wide-angle wet lens weighs about 1 kilo on land. With this buoyancy compensator, this hollow part around the lens itself, we can actually make this lens to about 170 grams of weight once we get underwater. So it's very close to being neutrally buoyant. Now, obviously you could do the same thing with the original version as well, but you'd have to manually add something like this styrofoam part here to keep it more to the neutral buoyancy side. Other key features of the new WWL-C are the field of view. Being 130 degrees is gonna make it very easy for you to get close to your object and still be able to get the entire object in your framing. Now, the WWL-C is equipped with a bayonet mount, which is making it very easy to put the lens on and take it off, even underwater and also even with thick gloves. For every housing there is a specific adapter that needs to be used to be able to attach the underwater wide-angle wet lens onto the housing. Please check on Nauticam's website or with your trusted dealer to see which one is the right one for your housing. Now, one thing that I find quite important and worth mentioning is that your focal range, basically meaning where you can start focusing using the wide-angle wet lens, starts from right in front of the lens to infinity, which is absolutely fantastic. You can also zoom through the entire range of your compact camera, which is not a given with other manufacturers of wide-angle wet lenses. And last but not least, if you're really adventurous, you can actually take this underwater wide-angle wet lens down to 100 meters, because that's how deep it's rated to. As mentioned before, the WWL-C was designed to be used with compact cameras like Olympus TG series, like Sony's RX100 series, Panasonic's LX100 series, or Canon's G5X or G7X series. These are just a few examples. Obviously, this wide-angle wet lens can be used on many other compact camera models. Also important to mention is that the wide-angle wet lens is not limited to compact cameras. You can also use it with micro four thirds systems or APS-C systems. For further details and more information on which cameras are compatible with this lens, please check Nauticam's product page. We'll link it down in the video description for you. And now let's talk about money. If you want to get one of these lenses for yourself, you're looking at $900 US, which might sound like a lot of money at first. But speaking honestly, you're gonna get a fantastic lens for that money that can be used in a variety of different situations. On top of that, you're gonna get a few very useful accessories like the protection hood for the lens, as well as the typical carrying pouch that Nauticam supplies with all their products. Now, our good friends at Fantic have given us the opportunity to extensively test the WWL-C in one of our local lakes here in Zurich. If you're curious to see the field test of this lens, make sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for the review video that will come out in the next week or two. Alright, and that was it guys for this month news flash, the month of May. Thank you very much for watching. Should there be any questions regarding the WWL-C, please feel free to put them down in the comments section. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you've got something out of it, please do not forget to hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel for more news flash and other equipment related videos on this channel in the very near future. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh, I should go.